I'm Casey. My friends call me Jesus. And this is a funny story that I am laughing hysterically about. And if you would like to laugh hysterically with me, you're welcome to. So, I used to be homeless in Portland, Oregon. And this is a story from that time in my life. It was like really my faceless arc, in my Arya Stark, look-alike life story thing going on. So, anyways, after the protests left, um, which I was a live streamer at, they were retaliating against the homeless camp at the site where the protests had happened. So they had taken away all the benches from that area because the protesters were unscrewing them and putting them in the street. So they took away all the benches. So I brought a bunch of couches, and then started protests back up to make them stop using graffiti removal spray on that camp. It worked. My demands ended up being met. And really, whenever I left the camp this day of this story I'm about to tell, my demands had been met. They stopped gassing the camp with this graffiti removal spray. And, I was like, I'm gonna call it a success. I did my part. I did what I could. But I was, really going through it at this time. And, on Mother's Day, which was right next to my birthday, I had had 3 different violent incidents with men, including one who was a guy who I thought was my friend, and that he was just quiet. And then it turned out that he was actually, seriously, gravely, criminally insane, and under a delusion that I was real-life Miley Cyrus. And I found this out because he tried to have somebody gang rape me with him. He tried to, get somebody to rape me with him, and they were like, no, I'm just gonna go tell her to avoid you, 'cause you're weird and dangerous. Also, that's not Miley Cyrus, dude. So, then the next day I confronted him with a live video, and he, called me Miley Cyrus, and I was like, I'm not fucking Miley Cyrus, I'm Jesus Christ, bitch. So, that was a thing. And then there was, this dude who threatened to cut off my fucking fingers on Mother's Day, at 10 o'clock in the morning. It was just all bad, okay? It was all bad. It was all fucking bad. I threw those bolt cutters he threatened to cut off my fingers with over the federal fence. It was it was just a bad birthday, okay? It was the worst birthday of my freaking life. And then I was like, I don't know what to do with all these freaking couches. They're gonna turn them into a fucking rape den if I just leave them here. So then I woke up and most of my couches were gone except for one of them. So basically they did me a favor. 'Cause you couldn't see that sidewalk from the street with all of the couches, especially if you put tents around them. And they were not really doing great things with my couches. So, yeah, on this day in particular, it was the day I left. It was the last day I was ever at the Justice Center. And on this day, there was this dude. He used to always try to get me to smoke his horribly rolled joints that would be soaking wet and loose as hell, look like they were rolled by a blind dog that needed its own seeing eye dog. And that's who rolled the joint. That's how bad these things were. And I could handle that he rolls joints worse than a toddler. But what I couldn't handle is that whenever I would tell him, no thank you, I do not smoke other people's marijuana, I like to buy it from the dispensary because it's $5 an eighth. So why not be safe and smoke my own marijuana and not soaking wet, suspicious-looking, possibly smurfed fucking joints from people who don't understand basic boundaries and still ask me every single day, even though I tell them no. Anyways, I had one couch left, okay? And this dude is always trying to get me to smoke his freaking joints, and other than that, he would just, try to sit really close to me and, mumble at me. And I'd be like, I'm fucking deaf, bro. You gotta speak up. And also, you're literally, not saying anything. What are you even saying? And, it was just fucking annoying, especially with the not taking no and like trying to get me to smoke his joints when I was like, no, dude, no. No. Like, I'm a big girl. I'm almost 30 years old. I've been alive for 3 decades. I don't want to smoke a really loose joint that looks like it has no adhesive. It's like soaked in the gingivitis spit of a stranger. I'm good, dude. And so I had one couch left, and this dude had watched them take my couches and didn't even wake me up, and then, like, was sitting on my last couch I had left and like tried to do drugs on them. And I was like, get the fuck off of my last couch. I have one couch left. You couldn't have even woke me up to let me know they were taking my couches, and now you think you get to just sit on my couch? Meanwhile, he had a couch that I gave him in his huge ass tent that he ran drugs out of. And I was like, dude, like, literally leave me alone. I just lost all my couches today. It's my last couch. I want to put my feet up. They're swollen. Like, let me have my couch and go away from me. You're bugging me. I want to be alone. And this dude was like, just thought that he didn't have to get up off my couches and was mad, that he doesn't know how to handle rejection. And so, as I was standing right behind him, and he thought that I could not see him, he licked a drug baggie and put it, like, sticked it to the sidewalk next to my camp. Meanwhile, I was standing right behind him, and he wasn't slick at all, and so I just immediately, like, just instantly picked it up and shoved it into his ear. If you've never picked up a drug baggie that somebody's trying to frame you with and shoved it in their ear when they thought that you didn't see them, it's an amazing feeling. I highly suggest it. But it's even better when right afterwards, you put your last remaining couch up on your car, and then you dump 400 whippets on them that are empty. And you tell him that you're going to make him the whippet chapter in the Bible. And I'm just sitting here laughing hysterically at this memory because, like, that's something totally righteous of Casey to do. And completely fucking unhinged of somebody who's legally ordained and goes by Jesus Christ, to do. But it's also what happened, and I would not change what I did. Fuck that creep. I hope that he's learned how to roll joints like a goddamn adult and take no for an answer. And, I hope the little girls who assumed I was the aggressor, as they were not homeless, did not spend any time there. And I had been at that camp for months and had to deal with this man harassing me for months. And then he tried to frame me because he can't handle rejection. So I framed him way worse and more hilariously, in the style of Jesus Christ. And these little girls were like, how me, ma, you're crazy. And I was like, yeah, bitch, I'm crazy. Good luck with them. And then, as they were picking them up, I went ahead and grabbed some handfuls and threw them over the federal fence. Like, go get those. So, yep, that was the last day that I was there. I chucked up just about every last deuce I had in me and left, and I've never been back since. I'm not Miley Cyrus, in case anybody, still needs reminding about that. And then also, I don't smoke strange men's weed, and if you try to frame me, if you try to frame Jesus, it might end up working out not so great for you, but hilarious for the rest of humanity. Cheers. Hope everyone is having, a horrible fucking holiday season, and that you have stopped being rampant consumers who, really don't give a fuck about anything.